This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning to one and all. My name is J. Shravan Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, AS Engineering College, and Autonomous Campus. Today, I am going to discuss about the new subject in 2-1, that is Network Analysis and Transmission Line. Before going to discuss about this subject, let me say one important point regarding this subject. That is, you will get minimum number of problems from this subject for many core competitive examinations like GATE and Indian Engineering Services, IES, and Public Sector Undertaken, PSUs, and ISRO, some core competitive examinations. So, one more important point for the subject is, if you know fundamental concepts and numerical problem solutions perfectly for this subject, you can solve many problems for other subjects like analog electronics, few subjects from electrical branch. So this is the most important subject, very important subject in order to solve various problems in other subjects also. Now, before getting to the subject, I would like to discuss the course objectives and course outcomes of the network analysis and transmission line. Now, course objectives. To understand the basic concepts on RLC circuits, resistor, inductor, capacitor circuits in series as well as parallel. Next objective, to know the behavior of the steady states and transient states in RLC circuits. See everyone, to know the behavior of the steady states and transient states in RLC circuits. Next, third objective, to understand the two-port network parameters. Two-port network parameters are example for two-port network is simple example transformer, input and output, input port and output port. Next, to study the propagation, reflection and transmission of plane waves in bounded and unbounded medium. So this is the part 2 in network analysis and transmission line. That is transmission line 1 and transmission line 2. This objective purely for, especially for transmission line 1 and transmission line 2. Next, course outcomes. So after completion of the network analysis and transmission line subject, what are the outcomes of this particular subject? First point, first outcome, gain the knowledge on basic RLC circuits behavior. Second course outcome, analyze the steady state and transient state analysis of RLC circuits. Third course outcome, know the characteristics of two-port network parameters. Fourth one, analyze the transmission line parameters and configuration. What is the course outcome? For example, let me say one subject example. So I think you might have idea about engineering drawing program, EDP. I think the name engineering drawing program that comes under civil or mechanical engineering. So they kept for common for all. The outcome, course outcome of that particular subject is, we know already 4 coordinates, coordinate 1, coordinate 2, and coordinate 3, and coordinate 4. In trigonometry, 4 coordinates. So people of Asian countries, example India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, those people use first coordinate in order to design the vehicles, cars, lorries, etc. So same for first coordinate, opposite one, third coordinate. Europe countries like some UK, these countries will use third coordinate in order to design their vehicle. So that's why for us, for Asian countries, driver at right side. For UK, that Europe countries, driver at left side. This is the course outcome. How to design. That is the application of engineering. Same like these are the outcomes for our subject, network analysis and transmission. Right? Especially problematic subject. These are the fully linked up with problems. Okay. Now here I'm going to start the first unit, network topology and magnetic circuits. The below are the contents of the first unit. Basic incident matrices for planar networks, tie set for planar networks, basic cut set matrices for planar networks, self and mutual inductances, dot convention, impedance, reactance concept, impedance transformation and coupled circuits, coefficient of coupling, equivalent T for magnetically coupled circuits, and finally ideal transformer. Now, what is graph theory? A simple definition, a division of mathematics called topology or graph theory, deals with graphs of networks and provides information that helps in the formulation of network equations. In circuit analysis, we will use two Kirchhoff laws. One is Kirchhoff voltage law KVL, second law is Kirchhoff current law KCL. So these are the basic Kirchhoff laws definitions. You might have studied in the first year itself, I think. Now again I will define what are the two laws. Kirchhoff voltage law. Kirchhoff voltage law defines the algebraic sum of voltage drops present in around a closed circuit equal to 0. That is Kirchhoff voltage law. Next, Kirchhoff current law. Kirchhoff current law states that if you consider one node is nothing but the point where more than one branch meets at some point is called node. That is, Kirchhoff current law states that sum of entering currents into the node equal to the sum of leaving currents from the node. Now, these equations can be easily written by converting the network into a graph. Certain aspects of network behavior are brought into better perspective if a graph of network is drawn. Now, network topology is nothing but network geometry. What is network? A network is an interconnection of elements in various branches at different nodes. See everyone, a network is an interconnection of elements in various branches at different nodes. Now, these are the network. This is the network corresponding graph. This is the network corresponding graph. These are the few more examples, the graph. Now, see everyone, in this network, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the nodes. A, B, C, D are the branches and also E. Now, so this is the network, bridge network. V is the voltage. Now, before going to draw the graph, we will consider ideal voltage source and ideal current source of the network. We know very well ideal voltage source internal resistance is 0. That is short circuit. Now, one more thing, one more ideal current source, one more source is ideal current source. The internal resistance of ideal current source is infinite ideally. So we will consider open circuit. So for this, each branch resistor, that may be resistor, that may be inductor, that may be capacitor, is replaced with short circuit. See the graph. Now here we have voltage source. Already I told you voltage source internal resistance is 0. Simply I have replaced this voltage source with short circuit, 0 resistance circuit. Clear everyone? Okay, next. Now, in this graph, basic terms, what is branch and node? See, replace the components by line segments is called branch. Replace the components by line segments called branches. Next, common points at which two or more branches meet together is called a node. See, simple definition. This one together is a node. Together is a node. So simple definition for node is the point where more than one branch meets. Simple definition: the point where more than one branch meets at single point is called node. Now, next, what is graph? What is graph? A linear graph or simply a graph is then defined as a collection of nodes and branches. It shows the geometrical interconnection of the elements of a network. It shows the geometrical interconnection of the elements of a network. A graph is connected if and only if there is a path directly or indirectly between every pair of nodes. Just now we have seen previous slide how graph is drawn from network. Here how this is graph, this is what network. Graph is drawn from network, already I explained. Next, the circuits of a graph have the following properties. Now, first property, the maximum number of branches in a circuit will be greater than or equal to the number of nodes. See everyone, the maximum number of branches in a circuit will be greater than or equal to the number of nodes. See the graph. First point is what? Number of branches in a circuit will be greater than branches. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many branches are there? 6 branches. How many nodes are there? 4 nodes are there. Here branches are greater than nodes. In some networks, some circuit, some graph, branches and nodes may be equal. Branches and node may be equal. Second point, there are exactly two paths between any pair of nodes in the circuit. For example, again back to slide 1. So 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 2 directions, either 1 to 2 or 2 to 1, 1 to 3, either 1 to 3 or 3 to 1. Next point, there are at least two branches in a circuit. Means if the circuit should form, at least two branches should be there in the network. Then only circuit will form. That is the significance of description of this point. Next, each branch or edge of graph carries an arrow to indicate its orientation. A graph whose branches are oriented is called a directed or oriented graph, else it is called undirected graph. The description of these 2 points is simple. If the branch indicates the direction, if the branches in the network indicates the direction, that graph is called directed graph, means giving the directions, branch directions. So the name directed or oriented graph. Else it is called, if the branch doesn't indicate any directions, that graph is called undirected graph. See, this is a network. This is a network. Branches are indicating with the directions. See everyone, branches are indicating with the directions. So this is what directed graph. See, small a, b, c, d, e are the nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are the branches. Minus plus, this symbol indicates the voltage source. Now corresponding graph I have drawn here, that is directed graph. A, B, C, D, E are the nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are the branches. So if you remove the directions, that will be the undirected graph. See everyone, undirected graph. Clear? So here also, how many nodes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 nodes. How many branches are there? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 branches. Branches are always greater than nodes, or sometimes maybe equal. Next, what are the planar and non-planar graphs? A graph is said to be planar if it can be drawn on a plane surface such that no two branches cross each other. Example, see, branch, 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 branch. Any branch, any two branches are not coincident, should not coincide here. See everyone. Next, a graph is said to be non-planar if it cannot be drawn on a plane surface, 2D, two-dimensional. That is, it cannot be drawn without a crossover. See everyone. This branch crossover in this branch, this branch and this branch, this branch and this branch. These are the planar and non-planar graphs. Path. This is our a simple definition, simple terminology. Path. So path is an improper subgraph such that at the terminating node, see, this is terminating node, only one branch is incident. See, at the terminate. While solving the problems, you come to know what are the what is this terminating, what is the incident, everything you come to know. Next point. At the remaining nodes, other than terminating node, at the remaining nodes, two branches are incident. These are the examples. See, this node, one incident may be leaving or leaving. See, next. Tree. This can also tree, the branches of tree called fix, poetry. The branches of poetry called links or curves. Consider a connected graph G with n nodes and b branches. B number of branches, n number of nodes. A tree is a connected subgraph of a network which consists of all the nodes of the original graph but no closed loops. A tree is what? A connected subgraph of a network which consisting of all the nodes of the original graph. For example, if the graph consisting of 4 nodes, the tree also same 4 nodes. If the graph consisting of 3 nodes, tree should be 3 nodes and no closed loops. And the important point is no closed loops. Second important point regarding tree. The graph of a network may have a number of trees. Yes, absolutely. While solving the problem, so we come to know how many trees exist for the given graph. By using some formulas, we will draw how many trees exist for the given graph. Next one, the number of nodes in a graph is equal to the number of nodes in the tree. Already in first point itself is the, I think, same point. Number of nodes of a graph and number of nodes of a tree should be equal. The number of branches in a tree is less than number of branches in a graph. Definitely. In first point itself, no closed loop. See everyone, no closed loop means we should eliminate any closed branch. So absolutely, if you eliminate any closed branch, definitely the branches of tree definitely less than graph. Now last point, a graph is a tree if here is a unique path between any pair of nodes. Okay, done. Next, for a graph, the tree branches are n minus 1, which are called fixed. Already I told you the branches of tree are called twigs. The remaining are called links. Links already I told you, the branches of co-tree. We have tree and co-tree for the graph. The branches of the graph which are not in the tree form, there exists a co-tree. That means if you remove tree from the graph, you will get co-tree. A graph is a union of tree and co-tree. Clear everyone? A graph is a union of tree and co-tree. If you remove tree from the graph, you will get co-tree. If you remove co-tree from the tree, you will get what? If you remove co-tree from the tree, co-tree from the graph, not from the tree. If you remove co-tree from the graph, you will get tree. Okay. Now, the decomposition of graph into tree and co-tree or its branches into twigs and links is not unique. Now, the formula, number of twigs nt equal to n minus 1. N is nothing but number of nodes. The number of links in a graph is equal to b minus n plus 1. B, number of branches, n, number of nodes. We will check whether this formula is right or wrong. We will check. Consider one graph. In this A, B, C, D, 4 nodes are present. Node I told already, more than one branch. See, node A, we have 1, 5, 6 branches. Node B, 4, 2, 5. Node C, same, 4, 3, 6. Node D, 1, 2, 3 branches. Now, in this dotted lines, so I am drawing one graph. This is already graph. I'm going to draw the tree and co-tree, twigs and links. See everyone, dotted lines are links, dark line, straight line are twigs. See everyone, tree I'm drawing, branch 5, branch 5, branch 1 and branch 3. See everyone, 5, branch 1, branch 3 are dark line, that is straight line without any closed loop, that is called tree. We will see individually. For coming slides, we will see tree diagrams and co-tree diagrams. In node point of view, B starting from B, A, D, C. B, A, D, C is what? Our tree. Next, rest of thing other than tree is nothing but, see everyone, branches 2, 4, 6 are called links, dotted lines. That is co-tree. Co-tree starting from C, D node D, D to B, B to C, C to A, C to A. Okay, D, B, C, A. In this graph, branches are 6, nodes are 4, twigs are 1, 2, 3, links and curves are 3. The tree of a graph has the following properties. First property, in a tree, there exists one and only one path between any pair of nodes. First property 1. Property 2, every connected graph has at least one tree. Property number 2, every connected graph has at least one tree. We will see all the properties while solving the problem. A connected subgraph of a connected graph is a tree. Yes, a connected graph, subgraph of a connected graph is tree if there exist all the nodes of the graph. Each tree has n minus 1 branches. The rank of tree is n minus 1. This is also rank of the graph to which tree belongs. Any graph with n nodes has number of trees, formula n power n minus 2. Here n is number of nodes. If n is greater than 2, complete graph only. If n is greater than 2, complete graph only, we will use this formula. Determinant of A suffix R transpose. First, this is generalized formula for any graph. AR is reduced incidence matrix. We will see how we will form a incident matrix for the given graph in coming slides, further slides. Okay. Now, this is the example. See everyone. This is node 1. See my arrow. This is node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. 4 nodes are available. We know n greater than 2. We can apply direct formula n power n minus 2. Here 4 power nodes 4 minus 2, 16. Now 16 trees are 16 trees are existing for this graph. We will check it. We will check. Now these are the 16 ways of writing the tree for the given graph. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. 16 ways. You can see you cannot identify any closed loop out of these 16 trees. Yes or no? The property of tree is nothing but there is no closed loop. There is no closed loop. You can see in all trees we had 4 nodes. Already I told you properties. The graph and the tree graph nodes and tree nodes should be equal. So here our graph consists of 4 nodes. So in each tree we had 4 nodes. You can just observe all the trees by once. Okay. Next, for a graph. So before going to explain the incident matrix, so firstly I'm going to solve a simple problem, how to write the incident matrix for the given graph, right? This is a simple logic. Now see everyone, this is a graph. Nodes are 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 nodes are available. A, B, C, D, E, 5 branches are available. Incident matrix represent with A suffix I. So in column wise, for incident matrix format, in columns I am taking 1, 2, 3, 4 are the nodes. I am taking in column wise. I am taking nodes, and branches are taking in row wise, like this, like this. A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D. This is vertical. These are the horizontal branches, vertical nodes. Now consider node A. Consider node 1. Consider node 1. For node 1, how many branches are there? 2 branches are there. One branch is A, one branch is D. So your wish, if you take here, I am taking, if branch is leaving from the node, I am taking positive one. If branch is entering into the node, entering towards the node, I am taking minus. So same thing I will apply for all nodes. You can take, if branch is entering, that will be plus, if leaving, that will be minus, either our willing. So here I am considering, if branch is entering into the node, I am taking minus. If branch is leaving from the node, I am taking plus. So for node 1, A is entering, I am taking minus 1. D is leaving from the node, I am taking plus 1. So for node 1, there is no connection of E, B, C branches. So simply I took 0, 0, 0. Understand? First node values. So I will explain one more node. For second node, B entering, D entering. So I will take B and D negative. So E is leaving from the node 2. So I am taking positive. Remaining A and C not connected to, there is no connection to the node 2. That's why I took 0, 0. Same node 3, E entering, C entering. Two branches are connecting to the node 3. Those two are entering. So I am taking E and C, E and C, E and C negative. Remaining are, there is no connection. Remaining branches are, that's why I am taking, I took 0, 0, 0. Same like node 4 also. Node 4, C, A also leaving, B also leaving, C also leaving, A, B, C positive. And D, E are not connected. So I have taken 0 and 0. So this is the way of writing incident matrix, right? I think everyone clear. Next, let us eliminate node 4. Let us eliminate node 4. What will happen? See. So that will be the reduced. What are the advantages of reduced incident matrix? I will explain in coming slides. Now, why node 4 means here this is a ground node. This is what? Ground node. Now, this one, AR into AR transport. If you do AR into AR transport like this, AR into AR transport, determinant 8. This is the formula for number of trees for any graph. Number of trees for any graph. So 8. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 trees are existing for the given graph, right? Clear, everyone? See, you may get one doubt. Clear, very, very important point. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4s are n equal to 4. 4 power 4 minus 2, 16. Sir, here you got 8 only. What is this? Means, see everyone, this graph, there is no what? There is no connection between node 1 and 3. Understand? Understand, dear students. There is no connection between 1 and 3. Previous, there is a connection between this node and this node. Every node is interconnected in this graph. But here, there is no connection between 1 and 3. That is the difference. So, understand, that is the difference. If you want to apply this formula, n power n minus 2, each node should connected. Each node, two nodes should be connected. See, this one and this one connected. This one and this one connected. This node connected. This node connected. This node and this node connected. Again, this node and this node connected. But here, there is no connection between node 1 and 3. So that's why we should apply normalized, generalized formula, AR into AR transport, right? Okay, what is incident matrix now? So already we solved the problem. So we can easily identify the points and properties of the incident matrix. Now here, represented with A or A suffix I, it is a matrix that gives the relation between number of nodes and branches, their interconnection, and also orientation with respect to a node. For a graph with n nodes and b branches, n nodes, b branches. So complete incident matrix A suffix I is a matrix of size n cross b whose elements are defined below. Already I explained while solving the problem in previous slide. Entering node, I took entering node. Watch, entering node I took negative, leaving from the node, branch leaving from the node, I have taken positive, entering node negative, leaving node positive. This is the description. Aij equal to ith row jth column equal to +1 if jth branch is incident with ith node and oriented away from it. So same thing I explained in the problem in simple way. Same like -1. If jth branch is incident with ith node and oriented towards it, equal to 0. If not, incident means there is no connection. I told there is no connection. Now write the complete incident matrix for the oriented graph given below. So in this graph, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the nodes, 4 nodes, A, B, C, D, E, F. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 6 branches. Now already I told branches written in horizontal form, nodes written in what? Vertical form. Now, consider node 1. Node 1, how many branches are connecting for node 1? B, C, this is B, this is C, this is what? A, B, C are connected to node 1. Now, in node 1, what are the branches leaving from the node B and C? That's why B and C positive. Entering branch A minus. Remaining are not connected. That's why simply I have taken zeros. Same like node 2. Node 2 connected branches are B, E, D. B and D are entering towards the node. That's why B and D what? Negative. E is leaving from the node. That's why +1. The remaining are not connected. Simply I consider zeros. Same like node 3 and node 4. See everyone, very important point. Here column -1, A column -1, 0, 0, +1. If you add, you will get 0. See column B also +1, -1, 0, 0. If you add elements in the column 0, 0, 0, 0. This is the property of one of the property of incident matrix. So see my dear students, while solving the problems itself, you should able to write all the properties. Don't by hand, don't read the properties individually. While solving the problem itself, you are able to write you should write the properties. You should recollect the properties of the given matrix, here incident matrix. See few examples. The determinant of incident matrix of closed loop graph is 0. The proof, this is a closed loop graph. See 1, 2 are the nodes, A, B are the branches. See, so for 1, A is what? For 1, so here reversely I am taking, so I will do a small correction. So whatever, see 1 and -1, this will be 0. Same like okay, right only. A is leaving, but here instead of +1, I will correct it. I will correct it. Okay. See this example, +1, 0, -1. This is 3 by 3 matrix. You apply 3 by 3 matrix. This is also determinant of 3 by 3 matrix is 0. I think the determinant process you already know why, because these simple concepts already in mathematics already this over. Next, properties of complete incident matrix. The sum of entries in any column is 0. Already I explained previous slide. If you add any column elements, the sum will be 0. The rank of the complete incident matrix of a connected graph is n-1. N is number of nodes. Sorry. The determinant of the complete incident matrix always 0. The determinant of a complete incident matrix always 0. Just now we checked the previous slide example. This one. Reduced incident matrix. If one of the node is considered as reference node or dummy node and that particular row is neglected, then it is a reduced incident matrix and its order is n-1 cross B. Now, what are the advantages? First one, less memory space. Second one, reduced computation time. Yes, in order to solve the calculation time also less compared to complete incident matrix. Example, one more example. This is the reference node 4. Same formula I applied. 1, 2, 3, 4 are the nodes. A, B, C, D, E, F are the branches. So you can see, you can observe, dear students, you can observe. See, 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 just observe the graph and matrix. Next. See, this is very, very important. See, this is what graph. In this, see everyone, B, I'm drawing the arrow, see, B, D, and E. Twigs, B, T, E, twigs. I explained already, twigs are the branches of tree. This is tree. This dark line, straight lines, tree, B, D, E. Next, rest of the part, A, F, T are links or curves for co-tree. Okay, now I'm writing C. AR is our reduced interest matrix. First, I have taken BDE, BDE, BDE what? Twigs. Twigs are nothing but branches of tree. ACF, links are nothing but branches of co-tree. See, BDE, B. For node 1, B, leaving, so plus 1. D, no connection. E, no connection, 0. Next, node 2, B and D are entering, that's why minus, minus 1, minus 1. And E also entering, here also minus, leaving minus 1. Okay, it's also minus 1. Okay, next, see, same like ACF, link matrix and twig matrix. So AR is what? You can write in the combination of what? AT, AL. AT is what? Twig. AL is what? Link matrix. Twig matrix, it is a square matrix, n minus 1 cross n minus 1 or nt cross nt. Link matrix, n minus 1 cross b minus n. This formula already I explained. This one. So by this, I will end the today's class. So next class will be continued.